Welcome to the final week of talking about classification modeling, at least for this 3-week series here. So we've gone through the first several stages of the CRISP-DM process, got the business understanding, the data understanding, we've prepared our model, we've then turned around and done the modeling, we've evaluated the model, we've tuned the model. So now you've got a final version of this model that you're ready to deploy. So for this last assignment that we'll do in this block of classification modeling is we're going to create that deployment package. Now, typically you would do this to a deployment server, and typically you'd have data sources that would be from databases, etc. So we're not going to be able to do that particular piece of it. So that's like where you take a stream and you could actually right-click on it and hit deploy, and then choose the model deployment, choose the server you're going to deploy to. But here's what you're basically going to have to do for this week's assignment. So let's say in front of you here, this is the model that you've created in the previous weeks. These are all the tuning steps of it. We're going to remove this partition. So like last week, we introduced the partition so that we could train and then test our version of our model to come up with the final version of it. So here we've got this model that we've created. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove all of these precursor steps. I'm simply going to get rid of them. What I'm then going to do, now this is my initial load and clean, so I can keep this super node and just going into that. That's simply merging the transaction, the products, and the promotions file. Merge those all together. That's what's happening in this super node. So I can keep that. The next thing it'll do is it'll go through this type node. In the type node, I've got my target set. I've also got the inputs that I've got set for this. For this particular model, I've built a neural net. Neural net is tuned as well as I can have it. We can see definitely the responses here. Now we know for this particular example, originally it was overfit. I've actually modified it a little bit, and its prediction rating is not too bad. So the overall prediction is still very close to 100%, but it's using different data sets at this point. I'm going to do one additional step. This is optional. I want to select it down to just those that will respond to promo 3 and then dump those off into a final table. So the components you have to have is some type of a source, whether you do that in a super node or not. You have to have your type node. You have to have your final model. The model is tuned as best as you can get it. And then you have to have a table or some kind of an output to it. So you could export that to a flat file, you could export it to an Excel, or you could simply dump it off to a table inside of their outputs here. That's what you need in order to get the grade, in addition to your analysis document. Now, in your analysis document, you should go into your final tuned model. This is what you see out of it. This is if it's overfit, you realize it's overfit. You could explain, yes, this is an item, and in future you may want to kind of get some diverse or additional data sets to it. Now, since we're using these prepared data sets, one of the things that I will do is I will run some additional data that I have that I've reserved outside of that sample data. And I'm going to check the values of your model to see if it's always going to overfit, or with the introduction of new data, if it'll actually perform a little bit better. So if you note that your model is overfit, I will run some additional data through it, and I'll see how it performs after it. It may actually perform better than the data which you're currently using. And I am using some simulated data in order to do that. And again, if something looks off, then I'll give you the feedback on it. But in your analysis document as much of that, be as clear as you can possible. But these are the things that I will be grading off of for the rubric. If you have any questions, feel free to drop by for office hours tonight. This is Wednesday, tonight at 7:00 p.m. Eastern, or hit up a note on the help desk, or send me an email, and we'll be able to answer those questions. Otherwise, good luck with this week's assignment. And please reach out if you have any frustrations or concerns. Thank you.